Hello and welcome. Can the cost of medicines be brought down for patients who are undergoing hospitalization? One sector that's keen to see this happen is the health insurance sector, and I'm joined by someone who is a former orthopedic surgeon turned business manager, Dr. Abhijeet Ghosh, vertical head health for networking and analytics at Bajaj Allianz Insurance. Dr. Ghosh, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
So, you're very keen that the cost of medicines be brought down, and so are a lot of other people. So, how does this help you?
We are having a payout to the hospitals. So what the amount of premium we charge to our customers, that is when they come for renewals, that largely depends upon what type of payout we are giving. So let's say we have a group policy where we are giving some sort of a payout. So the next year premium will depend upon what is the amount we had paid last year.
Right.
And if you see the consumables, they form a part of as big as around 30% of the overall payout. So if we can have a control on that part, maybe the premiums may start coming down.
Right. So I would assume as a user that your relationship is really with the hospital or the doctor, and you have nothing to do with the pharmaceutical company that actually manufactures the drugs. But what you're saying is that you can actually exert influence if you want to.
We are exploring that opportunity.
Okay.
So the main reason for coming to the summit and expressing our view is that can we have a tie-up with the proper people? If we can decrease the number of layers thing has to flow, can we have a better control? At the end, see, we are not here to cut anybody's margin and all those things. We are just exploring, can it be controlled? Because the overall idea is to have a affordable healthcare. If that is a mantra.
So the starting point for this also seems to be that the price of medicine is much higher than perhaps what it is or could be at the hands of the patient or at the hands of the end consumer.
Right.
Why is that?
There is no as such fundamental thing called as MRP. Though in few medicines it is being followed. But if we see MRP is the maximum retail price.
Right.
But behind the MRP there is another price which actually is the purchasing price. So if that can be controlled, one. The other part which the pharma industry deals is many things which don't have a price tag also. Let's say the implants and all those things that also are being manufactured by these type of companies. For this there is no concept of any MRP. So it all depends what is the invoicing that takes place, and the invoicing may be.
And you're saying all this because you've studied this and you feel that there is an opportunity to shrink.
There is a big opportunity.
Right.
And association has to be between the pharma industry, the hospital and the insurance industry. These three people have to be in together in tandem, then only this initiative can be taken forward.
Right. So can you give me an example which you've studied, either for medicines that are non-MRP and for medicines that are MRP, where you feel that there could be savings for your patients or for patients in general?
It's simple. If the hospital is billing as per the MRP, then I think we have to pay a lot more. But if the hospital bills a bit more than what his procuring cost, then obviously our payout will decrease. That is for the MRP certified drugs, something like that.
So you're saying that hospitals are actually charging me on MRP while actually they're procuring at much lower costs.
It is a
but they're entitled to do that.
They're entitled to do that.
Or are they not entitled to do that?
They're entitled because as per the government criteria also, you can charge up to MRP. So technically they're not doing any harm or they're not doing anything unethical at present. But we feel that if the payout is increasing, it is again the consumer who has to pay out from his money. Say if the insurance premium is going up, who is the end loser? The consumer only.
Right.
So if he goes and buys medicine from outside and he's getting a discount, why that same discount is not given on the drugs which are being procured at the hospital when he's undergoing a treatment?
Right.
So can that be passed on?
Okay.
And if there is no MRP concept, then I think the challenge is even more.
And what's the difference you feel in, is there a sort of median difference between the price at which drugs are procured by most hospitals versus price at which the MRP is listed?
Our analysis show that it should be around 15 to 20%.
Okay. So some of that can surely go back to the patient in terms of benefits.
Exactly, because it will help the patient in two ways. One, his treatment cost will come down, so our payout will decrease, so our premium for the next year may decrease. That is one aspect. Second aspect is that his sum insured is also saved. So what is actually, let's say sum insured is 2 lakh and he's undergoing dialysis, which month on month or week on week he'll have to undertake. So that kitty of 2 lakh is getting exhausted in 100 attempts. So by virtue of this, it may be now 120 attempts. So actually it is benefiting him only.
But you're saying in dialysis too there could be cost savings?
There could be.
Okay. Yeah. So you talked about MRP, which is medicines in hand. You said there are other medicines for which there is no listed price where too there could be savings. So give us an example.
I will not I cannot name the drugs
Okay.
at present,
Yeah.
but yeah, there
The
are
theme. I mean, broad themes. I mean, which areas?
these are these are chemotherapeutic drugs
Okay.
and all those things, and also the implants.
Okay.
I would like to specify the implants
These two.
also.
Okay.
So these two form a part of non-regulated price control. The price mechanism is not controlled here, so there is no printed cost. So that is the main area, and then it is up to the hospitals or the distributors that they can charge X amount.
Okay.
So that has to be controlled, and the benefit should be given to the patient.
Okay. So now the Indian the health insurance sector is obviously young and it's growing quite fast. Are you as a industry united on this?
Yes.
Mhm.
The industry as a whole is united because they are going through a tough time. The combined ratios is generally higher for all the companies. It is more than 100%, and you cannot do a business year on year making losses. So technically they are united, and let's see how more this industry can go in taking all the partners cohesively, so that we can collaborate. And I think we expect that the regulator from the pharma industry can also step in. They can have a discussion with us, and together we can have some sort of a price control.
Right. So just to give a sense for someone who's watching this, health insurance contribution to hospitalization, what would it be of the total bill in this country today, roughly?
Roughly, to the corporate hospitals is on the higher side. To the semi-corporate or the government hospital is very low, only except for this RSBY scheme, which is run by the government. But if you see on the overall percentage, it is around 15 to 20% of the payout that takes place, or the cash inflow that happens to a corporate hospital. That is by means of insurance.
Okay.
80% is still on the basis of reimbursement. The reason is that the overall penetration of health insurance is still low.
Right. And it's a
known
young
fact.
industry.
Yeah, it's a known fact. It's a young industry. If I talk about data from the overall point of view, if I include all the schemes, that is not only the insurance but also the self-funding schemes and all, still it is at 13 to 15%. If I
Right.
talk about only insurance, the overall penetration in Indian market is around 3 to 4%.
Right. So, and if what you do and you're successful with what you do, perhaps patients will, whether they have insurance or not, will still benefit because they could get lower cost of treatment in hospitals.
Very true.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
That is the motto.
Right. Thank you very much for speaking with us, Dr. Ghosh.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.